Well, boys and girls, we've spent all the money. Now we need to win all the football matches. We are just going to get through lots and lots of Premier League, Champions League matches. We're going to try and win them all because this year, to justify all the money we've spent, we need to win everything. And we're going to. How are we doing? We haven't played for a couple of days. We're doing all right. Oh, we lost to Inter. Of course. We've actually had a poor start to the Champions League. Okay, we need to sort our lives out in the Champions League. When's our next Champions League game? Soon. First, we play Norwich. But first, there's an international break. So actually, we're going to press continue a few times, get through this international break, and then we're going to play all of the football matches. I've just got a Steam achievement. One of my players has just won the World Player of the Year. Who do we think it was? Who's just won World Player? Oh, I guess Osimhen, because it says right there. So we spent all that money on Haaland and he finishes second to the guy he replaced. Victor Osimhen, World Player of the Year. I mean, he's not shown it this year, has he? He was brilliant last year. What a waste of money Haaland was. Goodness me. Evan Ferguson has won under 20. Wow, we've got the 1-2 in both World Player of the Year and under 21 World Player of the Year. We got them both. 1-2 in both of them. Although Haaland, of course, is showing his Man City, but he now plays for us. Right, let's go thump Norwich. And then go and win a Champions League game. Start getting things back on track. Shoot! Oh, someone did shoot. I see. Oh, by the way, as well, if any of you are fireworks wangs, I almost said a naughty word there. Can you quit it now? We did that yesterday. I can cope with it Friday night. I mean, I can cope with it throughout the weekend. It's not ideal. Friday night, Saturday night. There's been a local display for Sunday night as well. By all means, go to your local displays, enjoy them. If you've got them in your garden, you're a wang. And if you're doing them beyond today, you're a double wang with bells on. Why are there so many fireworks? Because it's fireworks night. It is the 5th today, isn't it? Bonfire night. Remember, the 5th of November. Because we're British and we celebrate a man trying to blow up Parliament. He tried to blow up Parliament, so we commemorate that by blowing things up. Right, now we play a Champions League game. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Why are we not winning in the Champions League again? Are we just afraid of this competition? I don't understand. We're so good in the Premier League and just pathetic in this. There's no explanation for it. Right, can we score a goal from this free kick, please, Kevin? You've got a good name. Now do a football goal for me. Kevin. Shoot. Why is nobody shooting? Stop floating it up in the air and put it in the sack. Goodness me. Why can't we score in the Champions League? What is wrong with us? This lot haven't had a shot. And we're still going to give them a point. They're going to score now, aren't they? They're going to beat us. We're not going to get out of the Champions League stage that it's impossible to get knocked out of. We're going to find a way to get knocked out of it after spending £2.5 billion. We're still not in the top 24. I think we can forget about top 8. Who do we play next? Galatasaray away. So a nice easy one to try and turn the form around then. I'm sure they'll welcome us in a really friendly manner and we'll have a lovely game of football where we'll all be cheered on equally. You could tell you were reading. I wasn't reading for some of it. I was reading for some of it and not reading for other parts of it. And you can't tell what I was and I wasn't. You think you can tell because you think you know how it was made. I assure you, there was plenty of ad-libbing. The original script was a guide. I can tell. You can't tell. You absolutely can't. It wasn't like a essay that I read off the screen. It was more a list of points to cover. Maybe half of what I earn in a year, I earn between October and December. Maybe not quite half these days. Because the stream money's more spread out. YouTube is very much leans towards launch period. But Twitch is more evenly spread over the year. So maybe a third of what I earn in a year. in a quarter. I don't know. I haven't actually run the numbers. But yeah, I have to make lots of money now because like July and August, I don't make enough money to cover my expenses. I have to make enough money now to have it left over in the summer so I can actually, live during the summer because there's not much money in this in the summer. Just stop paying Topher. I mean, that would have been the easy solution. Probably would have been a little bit harsh. This year, I mean, in all seriousness, this year was tougher because it was the first summer where I'd had to go through paying myself, paying Anna, paying Topher, paying Flute. So I had to earn enough. I had to have enough left over from the launch of 23 to pay a team of 4 over the summer when there's barely enough to cover what I need. Is subbing on before 70 or 70 per minute for players to get the rating? Yes. Bit delayed, but I was sat behind you in Dave Meltzer's Q&A at WWE. I had the freshly done grind mask tattoo. I mean, I wasn't paying any attention. I was playing Pokemon Go. I was going to say hello as my brother was a big fan, but he was shy. Well, hello now. Yeah, I was just sat there playing Pokemon Go the whole time. It was Go Fest weekend, so I was listening to them as if it was a podcast. Couldn't really see from where we were sitting anyway. So I was just listening and doing Pokemon raids on my phone the whole time. No, we're trying to deal with Urian. He wants to start more games. What do you have to say to Urian Timber?
Well, he's a regular starter, so
well, that's the point of contention. When I signed him, I told him he'd be a regular starter. However, he's been here since July. It's now November. He's not actually started any games.
Why?
Because he's not quite as good as the players who do start games. He comes off the bench. He plays in every game as a substitute, but he doesn't start them. So now he's come to me to say that he sent his agent to tell me that he wants to start more games.
Well,
how should we deal with this?
I think you should let him start the games because he thinks he's better starting games than being in the middle of games.
Okay, so you think I should tell him that he can start some more games?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then. So we're going here. So I want to make sure our most influential players are happy, so I'll give you the playing time you want.
Yeah.
I'm going to back down and promise him more game time. Okay, that's Anna's man management there for Urian Timber. And so now what we've got is a promise. Oh, it's not showing as does it not show as a promise? It should show as a promise. Hold on. Maybe we have to hit continue. All right, there he is. So a promise to give him a fair increase in playing time. So I've got 61 days to play him more often than I have been so far.
Forward to playing within the next few
He
months,
is. So I guess I'll start him in the next match then. There we go. That, boys and girls, was a HR issue resolved by the HR department. That's what she's here for. That, when people say about new features that should be added to the game or things that should be tweaked, that is definitely a thing. Because certainly in this day and age, if he starts every Champions League game, he should be like, that's quite cool. Why is it only League that they consider? You should be able to balance the game time across the most important competitions. I get that just playing him in the Carabao Cup shouldn't cheer him up, but I should be able to start him in some Champions League games and be like, yeah, this is cool. I'm starting in some Champions League games. If I played Timber in every cup game for the next 60 days while I've promised him more starts, he'll complain that I haven't started him any more often, even though I've started him in like 6 games in 2 months. If we fail to win again in the Champions League here, at what point do we just give up? I don't know why we can't win Champions League games. Can we please score in Europe? It might be time to bring Haaland on. If Ferguson misses here, Haaland's coming on. I mean, that's a very tight angle. It's a bit harsh to judge him on that. But rules are rules, I guess. On comes Haaland. Can we please do a football? Lads? Lads? Oh no, this is an actual disaster. I don't know why Champions League is going so wrong when we're doing so well in the Premier League. It makes absolutely 0 sense why we are pathetic in the Champions League. Shoot. What is wrong with these idiots? Come on, Erling. That's what we spent £450 million on. It was the only way to make sure I never had to do home again. Because I guess you never will find out what she had over me now. But yeah, she's done. Erling Haaland. He was worth every penny. He's offside. Oh, Erling Haaland. He's quite good. Who thought? Who knew? Who knew Erling Haaland was quite good? He's going to have a hat-trick here, isn't he? He is quite good, isn't he? He might be a lot of fun when he's fit and we can actually play him. Yeah, this is Haaland with an ankle still a little bit broken. He's not fully fit yet at all. And he's just come off the bench and scored 4 goals. Oh dear. This might be problematic for everyone else in the world if we get this man fit. Turns out he links up quite well with De Bruyne as well. I think I should take the credit for coming up with that. I mean, look at the 3 men he's got providing him assists. The rest of the world doesn't stand a chance. Bellingham had gone off by the time Haaland came on as well. Right, so we are into the top 24 now. We're actually only 2 points outside of the top 8, although Fiorentina have got a game in hand somehow. Right, so we need Colwell and Timber both in this team. Musiala can do 75 minutes, Haaland only 45. You know what? We're still not starting them. They're just going to have to come off the bench. Timber is going to start at right back. And we'll rest Gvardiol for a bit. I think Timber getting a run in the team, he's got a chance of pushing Reece James out of the team here, because I think he's going to be so much better at this inverted wing-back role that Reece James has been doing. This might be Timber's spot once he's had a little run of games there. Whoa. Woo. Oh, what a pass from Enzo. Oh, we're 2-0 up against a team pushing for a Champions League spot inside 10 minutes. Victor Osimhen just reminding everyone that he exists. Ansu Fati running in completely the wrong direction there. Kevin. Woody Louse, thank you very much for 12 months. Best year of your life. I'm sure you'll agree. Very much appreciated. Has Jeremy got himself sent off here? What a silly boy. Drops to his knees. I mean, you just destroyed that other man's knees. It's all right, you drop into your own. I guess we take off De Bruyne here. VAR, of course. Ever so reliable. I mean, whatever Caicedo's done there is genius. And there's Timber demonstrating that he should have that role permanently. I didn't actually watch the match as it was happening. I saw the first half in Andy's living room. So I saw the Havertz incident and just laughed when Havertz should have got sent off, but then 3 Newcastle players got booked for it. All I could do is just sit there and laugh. And I mean, it evened out, didn't it? Don't tell Anna I played Colwell from the start, by the way. She'll be very cross. Look at Timber running the middle of... I tell you what, Timber's brilliant in that role. Have Musiala behind Haaland, and then Bellingham and Caicedo deeper. Oh, Haaland's good, isn't he? Has he stayed on? If he stayed on side again, the man's a genius. Okay. It's not impossible for him to stay on side. Please, can you unblock me on Twitter? I would suggest you're probably blocked for a reason. Tell me why I blocked you, and I'll use that to decide whether I want to unblock you or not. I genuinely didn't know what I did. He blocked me many months ago. You do know what you did. I'm afraid that is not something you can get unblocked for. If you were to come in and honestly tell me what you did and honestly apologize for it, that's the way to get unblocked. Being like, oh, he blocked me for no reason. No, I didn't. Victor Osimhen is the best player in the world. Haaland is second best. They are both our players. De Bruyne is 5th. Ugarte, who we sold, is 6th. Bellingham, who is ours, is 8th. Gvardiol 13th, Williams 19th, Pino 20th, Timber 22nd, Guehi 26th, Costa 27th, Musiala 28th, Fati 38th, Araujo 39th, and Pavard, who is not ours anymore, we sold him as well, 48th. Don't worry, there's an investigation currently happening. We'll see what Detective Chris comes back with. Chris will make the decision. But of course, you do run this is like appealing a red card, because you do run the risk of, if he finds out why you were blocked on Twitter and agrees with the block, he will also ban you on here. So it's a risk. There we go. He's found it. Yeah, you were blocked for a reason. So it was back when out of context Football Manager was stealing people's content. I called him out for stealing it. That's what you did. That's why you got blocked. There we go. Oh dear. What a rascal. He posted, with a screenshot of you blocking him like it was some kind of accomplishment. Oh, so he really did know. He knew exactly why. Right, I played Colwill in the last game. What's he whinging about? Hi, Levi. You're right. I apologise. Tell me why I should trust you. Because Anna's been in and has said I have to do it. See, I'm fighting a losing battle here. No, I'm not going to transfer you. You can moan all you like. You're not going anywhere. I'll continue to use you as... I mean, that's escalated quickly, hasn't it? Instead, they really my only two options. Promise to sell him or bang my fist on the table and tell him he's an idiot. He's troubled, bless him. I want to put my arm around him. Is that an option? It's not an option. What are you doing? I want to play football and all you're doing is showing me I won't get a chance under you. I literally wanted to say, no, I will play you now. That's what I said. I'll play you now. I fully intend to play you now, Levi. Oh, hold on. Okay. No one agrees with him. The rest of the back four agree with me. How remarkable. The four players were like, no, actually, boss, you're right, not playing him. 4 players directly in competition with him for a starting spot. Excellent. I can't sell him because I need him as a homegrown player. But I love the fact that the rest of the back four have been like, well done, boss. Good work. Good work, boss. Oh, bless him. He's got no mates. I want to see who's in his friendship group. Oh, my word. We're just like one big happy family here at Chelsea. Look at that for a social group. We all love each other. I've never seen that before. The core group is in very high spirits, all pulling in the same direction, and should have no cause for complaint. Is Levi in there? He is, look. There he is. He needs to try and split off and start his own social group. Interesting that recommended players who would fit into my social groups, there are a few names on here that would be rather tempting to bring in. There's your... Someone asked before, who's your De Bruyne replacement? This guy, right? I wouldn't be able to just say it. I have to have it written in front of me and try and follow the letters. I couldn't just say it now without looking at it. It's very long and complicated. But, you know, I can read. And it's basically an English pronunciation of it, is what I've just done. The ones I struggle with are the ones where you have to know that different letters have different sounds in different languages. Like, I butcher Gravenberch every time, because... Is it the CH is pronounced differently? I mean, when I say I've bought a suit, I mean I've bought a jacket and a couple of new shirts. I have absolutely no reason to own the bottom half of a suit. Oh my word, we've got players swarming forward. There's Endrick. Fresh off scoring for Brazil. At least we've sorted ourselves out in the Champions League now. It's not cold though. I mean, it is. It's too cold. But remember, I don't have heating on in this room. I turned the radiator off in here the day I moved in, and I usually have the window open as well because it gets stuffy in here. There you go. Topher's just sent me this that's been put on LOLLUJO too. I mean, the most alarming thing about that, Topher, is why you're on your 5G at home. Get on the Wi-Fi, son. Goodness me. What's this? What episode was that on that he spotted that? How deep has he gone? Okay, it took us signing Haaland. So 11 episodes in, underneath an episode titled How I Signed Haaland Without Breaking FFP. Is it unrealistic? I'm just being Chelsea if they selected players based on what they actually needed rather than just randomly selecting them the way they do in real life, which is why they never end up with a striker. If I'd have had a big wheel just to spin with loads of famous footballers on, and then we just pay whatever they cost every time one comes up, then it would have been bang on. I think I've got a reputation now of always being really realistic in the beta. The beta is... I mean, what you got to remember with the beta, we have 2 weeks to try and do a complete story, which is really hard. I should start in tier 8 and do a 9-season Road to Glory during the beta. And they'd love that. I'd get promoted 6 times in a row and they'd be loving it. Oh, it's so realistic. You're managing a small team. You're developing young players. You've had 6 consecutive promotions. This is realism. This is what I want. Oh, what is he doing there? Best goalkeeper in the world, boys and girls. Just flopping his hands towards the football. In my opinion, how does it get easier? I mean, we've got Erling Haaland in our team. I don't know that the game necessarily is getting easier, by the way. That was a bit of a nod to the comments. I think it's more a case of the things that worked 5 years ago still work now. So there's less of that period of figuring the game out. Like, you saw it a little bit. Oh, geez, Erling, you madman. He just broke that man in two. Gamal's just coming back from injury. This is our 5th choice striker playing at the moment, who has just scored on his Brazil debut, but still. Burger's definitely a sandwich. But then I feel like it makes a mockery of the question. You can't ask somebody what their favourite sandwich is and be satisfied with their reply being bacon cheeseburger. That's not an acceptable answer to that question. One of my favourite sandwiches I've ever had is the ones they gave me in hospital about 10 years ago when I had my kidney stones out. I was in hospital for like 3 or 4 days and I had this for lunch and dinner because it was delicious and I've never been able to replicate it myself just right. And it was just a cheap, nasty, horrible sandwich, but it was delicious. It was just the cheapest white bread you can get with ham and mustard mayo. And there was just something about the cheap, horrible bread, the horrible, cheap, nasty ham, and a disgusting combination of cheap mayo and cheap mustard. But for whatever reason, it mixed together perfectly to the point where it was a taste sensation. I was also on morphine at the time, so they probably could have given me anything. But actually, the best sandwich I've ever had was the first time we went to Disneyland. Erling Haaland's good. First time we went to Disneyland, we stayed at I can't remember what it's called, the place that's half owned by Centre Parcs, half owned by Disney. And there was a supermarket there, just like a French supermarket. I forget the one. Franprix, that's a French supermarket, isn't it? They had a Franprix on the site. And I just went there and got just French butter, French cheese, just supermarket standard stuff. Went to the boulangerie and got some proper French bread and just... Oh, and I got some French ham as well. I just took it back to the room, cut it open, thick butter, ham, cheese. The combination of just basic stuff, French bread, French butter, French cheese, French ham, combined perfectly. It was the best sandwich I've ever eaten in my life. To the point where every time I go to France now, I replicate it. It's always incredible. French food is just delicious. I'm 40 and white bread is a special treat these days. Yeah, exactly. Or you're American, aren't you? Maybe it's different in America. That bread isn't even bread in America, is it? I watched a thing where they basically looked at American bread and it's like, yeah, this has very few of the actual ingredients of bread in it. This is not bread. I drop 100k in chat now, will I get a youth player in Non-League to Legend? No. The only way to get youth players in Non-League to Legend is to be a YouTube channel member. Right. Let's get Timber in again. This time for Guehi, I think. We'll do that. Actually, we'll do him that way around. And is Colwell stopped being a Grizzly Guts yet? No. So we still have to... See, I don't want to drop Gvardiol forever. Because Gvardiol is obviously far more important. We're going to leave Colwell on the bench. It's more important to keep Timber happy. I don't really care about Colwell. A new Twitch show tomorrow. Oh, we'll finish this season. And then we're going to do at least one season of Brighton as well, carrying that over from YouTube. I'm not in a rush to start a long-term Twitch save. We'll get Non-League to Legend up and running first, because a long-term Twitch save is likely to be a lower league save. So I don't want to start two of them at the same time because they'll seem very similar. So I mean, we didn't start with Penabont until January last year. We were already at least at Preston, if not at Spurs and Non-League to Legend, by the time we started with Penabont. And we might get stuck in the Championship for a year or two. We might go up to the Premier League, come back down and then go back up again. But basically, the first 5 or 6 seasons of the save are guaranteed promotions because of how the game works. The only way to not go back to back to back to back from tier 8 is to fix it so that you don't. For the hashtag narrative. And I don't really want to do that. Anyway, I can send Kev football cards to open during slow moments of streams. I do officially still have a PO box. Who the hell are we playing here? Have I just got on autopilot? Are we playing Ipswich? And I've put the first team out. Are they in the Premier League? Is this a cup game? What on earth is going on? How the hell are they in the Premier League? What's going on here? I realise they're probably going to get promoted this season, but still. Feels like I didn't need to put the first team out. And I asked for feedback. It was on the community page. We talked about it on stream. There was just probably half of my usual episode 1 viewer base just refused to even give it a try because they weren't interested in a creator club. So... Born isn't technically a custom club. I mean, Born in the USA is a Pentagon Challenge. Again, it's a save that's fun to play. It's terrible content. Because once you've won the first Champions League, it then just becomes get a job at a team that can win a Champions League in a different continent and win it again there. And it just becomes super easy once you've won it once. Oh, there we go. Evan Ferguson. Evo Dreamer, thank you very much for 2 months. No way Zealand Nines is close. That is true. And also, like you say, his Japan thing is just for the beta, isn't it? You don't need to contact him asking about the ironing thing. Didn't he literally do a stream where he was just simming the league over and over again, or simming something to try and get San Marino to win something and changing the height of his desk? Or I don't know the details, but it was basically, it was not a Football Manager save. It was, but you know, he can do things like that and it's fine. Oh, pervert corner incoming. Am I going to bother to get rid of his claws? I mean, we'll try. We'll have a little look. I mean, we could probably have a quick look now before the end of the stream. See if it's... I don't know if he's been here long enough to sign a new contract yet. Right, back to the top of the Premier League. This feels like a good opportunity to try and offer Haaland a new contract, doesn't it? Shall we see what he says? He's probably going to say no, isn't he? There he is, look, not suspended anymore. Hi, Erling. Right, he wants a lot of money and wants a minimum release clause of 311. I mean, that's more like it. I don't know if we can offer that kind of salary, though. But let's try and offer that and see what happens if we take that out. Yeeks. There you go. So that gets up to 311. Right, boys and girls, we are going to wrap today's stream up there. Remember, there's going to be no stream tomorrow because it's Christmas Day, Football Manager Christmas Day. Non-League to Legend will be out at 5 o'clock, not 4 o'clock, because the game doesn't come out till 4. So Non-League to Legend at 5 o'clock. We'll do the usual thing where if we get X number of likes, there'll be another Non-League to Legend out at like whenever we hit that number of likes, usually around 8, 9 p.m. So that's why we're not streaming, because I have to record episode 1 and 2 immediately, and then also get started on the first look at mobile, touch, console, and those videos will be releasing over the course of tomorrow night and into Tuesday morning as well. But we'll be back here on Tuesday evening, carrying on this save, trying to get the season done, because later on this week, we're going to be bringing Brighton over here from YouTube.